Alright, this is a video covering some of the different carbs that have been on this engine. If I see a Holley carb at a swap meet or at a yard sale and it's at a decent price, I just buy it. So there's been a few different carbs on this, but let's go over what's in this first. This is a TRW flat top bottom end steel crank 4-bolt 350. It's got IK 180 cylinder heads from Brodix. It's got Howard's flat cam. It's 231, 235. It's got 1.6 rockers. It's probably about 3,000 pounds without me in it. It's got 373s, and the stall on this converter is pretty close to 4. So when I go over the jet sizes and some of the stuff I've done to the accelerator pumps, remember that this thing gets out quick. If you take some of the suggestions I've done here, put it in your 5,000 pound Caprice with 308 gears in the stock converter, it ain't gonna work. But anyhow, one of the first videos I did was on this marine carb, and this thing is just kind of a Frankenstein mess. But I actually fixed an off-idle stumble by going up an idle feed restriction. I think part of the reason for that is I drilled the throttle plates. So this thing has a quick fuel base plate. It's got annular boosters. The main reason I bought it is I wanted the boosters. By the time I was done, it had the secondary plate off a double pumper so it could have 4-corner idle. I didn't fix the air bleeds, and it just got to the point where it's kind of a mess. This came with side hung float bowls. I found this at a swap meet for 30 bucks. I bought it just so I could take the bowls off of this to use on this. So after I realized that this thing was just kind of a disaster, I actually threw this 3310 together. Now remember, this is on something with the converter stalls at $4 grand. This thing normally comes with a plain spring. It's got the white spring in it, didn't bog one bit. It does have the secondary metering block instead of the plate. And from the factory, this would be about 75 to 76 jets in the back, and I went the whole way up to 80s. Now, this I picked up on Marketplace for 100 bucks. 650 double pumper. You can see what jets came in it. This came with 67s and 73s. The squirters were 28s. I got a big single plane on that. If this were a dual plane, I don't think those jet numbers would have to be that high. But I just took it to the track a couple weeks ago and ran best with 70s and 76s was the quickest pass. And I didn't really have to get too crazy with the squirters to make it work. They come off the line pretty quick. The main thing with the 650, drivability was great. No stumbles, no burbles. Didn't do anything to the idle feed restrictions. I measured them, they're 31 thousandths. It just worked. I think a lot of the carb sizing that people come up with, like some of the formulas, were based on drivability, not necessarily power. So, this is what's on it now. This is 700 double pumper. Out of the box, 66 and 76 jets, 28 squirter in front, 31 in the back. And I went up 4 in the front and 3 in the back to get the quickest time. And to get this thing to come off the line right, what I normally do with the double pumper is, this thing shouldn't need a ton of accelerator pump, so I picked some medium cams. I put a red one on here. So I had red cams front and back, and I started with 32 in the front and 35 in the back for the squirters. Had a stumble, so I went 35, 37, still stumbled, kept going up. And I actually had to go to the green cam on the back to get enough squirt out of this. But drivability wasn't really great. Once I went to the 70 jets, I had an off-idle issue where it would just sort of load up and burble. And I had to fix that by drilling out the idle feed restrictions and going smaller. So drivability is definitely better with the smaller carb. There's no doubt about it. That thing just, you don't have to mess with it near as much. Drivability is not as good, but The 700 is about a tenth and a half and a mile an hour faster.